Stay tuned as we build the Marvel Legends Venompool Build-A-Figure. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we are already at the end of another Marvel Legends wave, and in front of me are all of the pieces you need to build Venompool. Now I like this wave. There was only 5 figures in this wave and you can build this massive Build-A-Figure. So to get all of the pieces that you see on the table right now and you can build your very own Venompool, you will need to buy Morbius, Carnage, Phage, Miles Morales and Ghost Spider. Now, in this wave as well was Venom, the movie Venom, but that didn't have a Build-A-Figure. I believe that was just an extra packing from Marvel that went along with this wave. But you do not need him to build Venompool. Only 5 figures and you can do it. So as you can see, we've even got interchangeable hands, which is quite good for a Build-A-Figure. Very decent sized base body as well. It's not all going to fit on screen, but I'm sure you can figure out how this goes. Obviously the head goes on the body, legs, arms go in the right places. So I'm going to build this off camera and come back. Pow! So here we have the Venompool all built up. Even comes with interchangeable hands, which is a nice touch considering it's a Build-A-Figure. We'll look at them in a second, but just the figure itself, first impressions, this is very nice. I like the concept. So essentially this version of Venompool actually debuted in Marvel's Contest of Champions video game. He never debuted in the comics, it was in the game, but the comics have since added him in there. He's featured in a few panels. He's basically what Deadpool and Venom would be like from a different universe. So it's an alternate universe version of Deadpool and Venom combined. The 616 version is when Deadpool goes black and white, which we already have a figure of. So this is just an alternative version. So he can fit amongst your average comic shelf, if you will. He has featured in the comics, but yeah, debuted in the games. So yeah, very nice, big, chunky Build-A-Figure. Definitely has all the characteristics of Venom and Deadpool, because it's the big chunky Venom, as we know. We got the big tongue, we got the black eyes, yeah, but it's still Deadpool. You still got the katanas, you still got the black and red, still got the bout and the straps. So yeah, you definitely can see how it's a mash of the two, and he's got these nice chains as well attached to him, as he was like a captive of maybe the Collector or the Beyonder or someone like that, but still very nice character. Let's zoom in and take a look. So there we see his big massive purple tongue actually sculpted out of the head, which is very nice. And it seems like he's got a really small head for the body. It is accurate to the character design. It's just always funny and funky to look at. But I see the big purple tongue with the teeth all nicely painted. And then all these staples you can see around his eye are actually sculpted in there very nicely as well. So you got the black sort of outline, the sort of standard sort of Venom sort of look, but with the white beady eyes and the big tongue. So yeah, his face is very nice. The head will look all the way up. Carefully, it might pop off, but it will look all the way up. And then obviously can't bury the chin much, but you can sort of get him looking down as he should. So yeah, no neck, but it doesn't matter. He's a big chunky guy. Spinning around to the back, you can see these katanas, and if I zoom out a little bit, these are not actually attached in a peg. These grip on to the harness, and the harness is a separate piece as well. So the harness, this whole harness piece can unclip at the back, and the katanas, I don't know how well you can see it, but they actually grip to the harness piece. So there's no peg in the back of the figure. You can see there, no peg at all. These grip onto the harness, which I quite like. It means no hole in the back of the figure. You can take it off if you want. I like the touch, but it gives it that silhouette with the swords in the back. Now the swords actually come out as well, which is a nice touch. So the swords will come out of the katanas, and then we can use his other hands to hold these. So we'll use his other hands in a minute, but just let me see if my camera will focus on these. So these just nice big black handles and then silver, and they've got loads of like scruffs and sculpt marks in there. I don't know if you can tell under my lights, but they're definitely there. Looks like they've been used a little bit. So yeah, I like how these actually work. So let me put these back in his harness, and we'll take a look at the rest of the figure. Have I spun that in the right way? That one's a bit stiff going in there. There you go, that's better. All right, spinning background. Okay, so as I said, the harness is a separate piece. You can see the little Deadpool logo on the bout with all these pouches. Standard Deadpool, another pouch here on the leg as well. And I like this strap on the leg. It sort of can go up, so it sort of hides the cut for the swivel, which is a nice touch. And the articulation on this guy isn't bad at all considering how big he is. But again, all these staples are all sculpted. So this is definitely a unique sculpt, and I love that character element. Like, you know what Deadpool's like, he's always falling apart, he can regenerate, and I love the fact that they've just stapled him together. And again, they're there on the legs as well. So there's some nice texture as well. It's like got that standard sort of Deadpool suit texture that we're used to seeing, but then the black is all nice and smooth like a Venom would be. So it's like definitely like the Venom body and the Deadpool body have been stapled together. So I like that element. And again, these chains are a separate piece. If I popped the wrist off, they can slide off. So if you didn't want your Venompool to have these chains on, I'm assuming we could just pop them all off. There's a chain there on this hand and a chain there, and then the chains on the feet. Now the feet look tiny, don't they? If you hold him like that, you wouldn't think that the body's this big, massive, chunky piece. But still, this is looking very good. So let me just zoom out a second so you can just get a big look what he looks like. See what I mean? He's got a pea head, but it works. It's the character design. Either way, this is very nice. Textures are good. It's all nice and clean. The paintwork, I like how both of the harnesses are a separate piece. The swords, the chains, very, very nice. Now let's swap out these hands. So the first hands are like just standard sort of Venom grabby hands, if you will. Just, yeah, claws. No paintwork on the nails or anything like that, but they work. So let's swap those out. So there we go. I've swapped them, and now we have these gripping hands. And these are clearly for the swords. So let me pull these swords back out of their harness, and both of the hands can grip very nicely. So you would not want to go against this massive guy when he's got these swords in his hand. That is being a bit stiff, but it will go in there. There you go. And yeah, there we go. Now we have our Venompool with swords, and this is going to look very nice all posed up, especially for a big character like that. So I definitely like that touch, and they go all the way in there. So yeah, liking this a lot. Venompool has his swords, and I like how, see the chains here, as I mentioned, they're separate pieces. If you brought some real chains, go down to your depot or B&Q or wherever you want to go, get some real chains, and you could actually plug them in to both ends and actually add some more sort of character and a bit more interesting for the shelf if you actually get some real chains on this guy. And maybe you can get him being chained up by someone in a diorama. But yeah, lots of playability with this guy. Just a fun mash of characters. And it is canon. And yeah, looking good. Interesting choice for a Build-A-Figure, but it makes a lot of sense as well. So no complaints from me. So let's take a quick look at the articulation. So his arms will go all the way up to just probably in the 90. It's just that they're so big up there, and there's only a single jointed elbow, but he will do the standard sort of strong man pose. He can click back. You heard it click, but it's only a little bit. I've took the katanas off, of course. He will click forward. You can hear those clicks though, can't you? Really loud. So yeah, click forward a little bit, click forward back a little bit. There's a swivel at the waist, of course, as well, which is nice, and swivel at the biceps, as you would expect. Swivel at the thighs down here, swivel, double jointed knees, so he can kick his own ass, of course, and then a really nice ankle pivot as well for such a big character. So again, you can get this guy in some very unique poses for such a big character. So there you go, he's a little cross-legged. There's him doing a bit of meditating there. But yeah, this guy can get all balled up, and you can literally throw this through a window if you wanted to. Yeah, that would definitely break a window if you threw it. But yeah, articulation for this guy. Again, head can go up, down, not bad at all. Moving into comparisons, this one, of course, had to be first. Here we have Deadpool, and here we have Venom. Do you get it? Do you get it? You smash these two together, and then in the alternate reality, you get this guy. You get Venompool. So yes, it is an amalgamation of these two characters in an alternate reality to the 616. But yeah, there you go. So as you can see, big, massive, and chunky. Here we have a Venom comparison that probably makes a lot more sense. Here we have Venompool compared to the original Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. You can see it's the original because it's got the different pattern and it's got the purple tint. We have had this reissued now as a deluxe Monster Venom where it's all black, but it's essentially the same figure. So the comparison is the same, and as you can see, Venompool is taller than the Monster Venom figure. So yeah, both looking good. And then here we have Venompool compared to another red massive figure that we've had this year, and it is of course Red Hulk. And you can see Red Hulk is actually taller than Venompool. That just shows you how big this Hulk figure is. But still, these definitely look like they could be on the same team, looking nice. And finally, here we have Venompool compared to all of the figures you need to buy to be able to build the Venompool Build-A-Figure. So of course we have Carnage, Ghost Spider, Miles Morales, Phage, and Morbius. You buy those 5 figures, then you yourself can have this Venompool. So again, very nice. And overall, this is a solid wave. I know people are probably screaming at the screen, you're missing the movie Venom, but you don't need him to build Venompool. So I'm going to review him separately. I thought I'd review this guy a little bit early. But yeah, this is a very nice, quick, simple wave and a nice batch of figures, especially if you're a Venom fan or even a Spider-Man fan of sorts. But yeah, if you're a Deadpool completionist as well, you're going to need this. But overall, very solid wave, nice builder figure. Now this guy is so heavy, my little tiny rotating base won't actually handle it. So you can actually see my finger there, just slowly moving the rotating base. But still, I'm not going to repeat myself too much. My final thoughts is this is a very nice builder figure. Nice simple wave as well. And again, if you like Venom, you need this figure. If you like Deadpool, you need this figure. And if you like them both, well, this figure was definitely made for you. And even though it didn't debut in the comics, it doesn't mean it can't fit on your shelf with your comic characters. He has featured in the comics since his debut. So I guess it's canon overall. It's just an alternate reality version of Venom and Deadpool to add somewhere on your display. Another interesting character, and I like how we get interchangeable hands so we can hold his katanas as well. Very nice touch. So as always, you let me know what you think of this Venompool in the comments below. Did you play it in the video game, or have you actually found a panel in the comics that he's featured in? Let me know. Always curious to hear your thoughts. And as always, you want to see more reviews, then check out the videos tab, find the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. And as always, you want to support the channel that little bit more, you can do that on Patreon. Much appreciated. But until then, as always, people, my name is Dan W. Follow me on Twitter at It's Dan Who, or Dan Who Reviews. I always forget. I'll put it on the screen anyway. I'm getting tired. My finger's getting tired spinning this guy around. As always, I shall see you on the next one.